Hello and welcome, or welcome back to my channel. I have pulled out my microphone because my voice is still wavering after being sick, which we will talk about here in a second. So I've got some hot tea here. I've been drinking this throat comfort tea like it is my full-time job. It is like the only thing bringing me any kind of comfort. But I just wanted to catch you guys up on what the past week or so has been like. I'm actually recording on the camera that's built into my computer, which I very rarely do. But I just needed the path of least resistance for this video, and this was it. And being able to plug in my microphone also made it easier. So I just kind of wanted to do sort of a FaceTime style video where I just catch you up on the past week, what's been going on. It's been a really rough week, and then what's coming up in the next week. And then we can kind of just go from there. And then I always love to hear from you guys in the comments below how you're doing, what you've been up to, all of those kinds of things. So, excuse me while I sip tea throughout this, but that's the only way I'm going to get through this. This is the first day in 5 days that I have woken up and been able to speak. I have not had a voice at all, at all. And so one might say it's probably not wise on the first day that I'm able to speak to record a video, but it's been awful. Like, I love to yap, I love to chat, I love to film videos and call my family members and talk to Riley. And let me tell you about parenting without being able to speak. It is a wild ride. So here's the story. So on Friday, well, even before then, if you watched my video from last week, the previous video on this channel, so it was last Thursday's video, I mentioned in that video that I felt like I was getting sick, and I was right. So during the filming days of that video, I never got sick, but Thursday night, it all hit me like a ton of bricks. So I went to work out on Thursday and then went to work, did all my normal things. Um, my parents came into town Thursday night for the weekend. And so I was just, getting things done, getting ready. Colin's birthday was Friday, and the kids' joint birthday party, which we had about 50 people here, was Saturday. So I had all these things on my plate that I was kind of racing around and getting done. And I was just drinking water on Thursday night right before bed. And I drank a sip of water, and I felt in the back, like in my tonsils here on the left side of my face, I felt like a little irritation, and I thought that was weird. Um, and it almost felt like there was like a little pebble or something stuck in there, and I was like, very bizarre. And so I drank like a whole bottle of water, and it still was there, and it just felt really irritated. And I thought, well, I mean, who knows? I'm just gonna go to bed, and we'll see. So that was on Thursday night. I really overall felt fine except for that one little thing. But then I woke up on Friday morning, and I felt absolutely awful. I was so ill. And I said to my mom was in town at this point. So I said to my mom, I said, I feel like I have strep throat, but I haven't had strep throat since I was in middle school. And so she got a flashlight and she looked at my throat, and she's like, it doesn't really look like strep. It's a little red, but strep is usually kind of patchy and white, and it wasn't like that. And so I thought, gosh, I must just have like a really bad sore throat. But as the day went on, I was realizing like it's really bad. Unfortunately, Friday was also my son Colin's third birthday. And so we had these big plans to do all these fun things with him on his birthday. And I just was so ill. And so I was just taking medicine and doing the best that I could to make it a good day for him, but it was not easy. I was really feeling sick. So Friday goes through, we get to the end of Friday, and I'm thinking, tomorrow I'm having 50 people over for this birthday party. Like, how am I going to do that? And the timing really could not have been worse. So I made a doctor's appointment on Friday night for first thing on Saturday morning. And I thought, well, I'm going to need to go in and see what's going on because this, I have a really high pain tolerance. I feel like I handle being sick pretty well overall, and I was not handling it well. Like I wasn't, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't even sleep. I was in so much pain. So first thing on Saturday morning, we go into the doctor's office. Riley drove me because I was so unwell and I hadn't eaten. And so I was like dizzy, really a bad situation. So we go in and we sit down. And this is Saturday morning, the morning of this birthday party. And mind you, my parents flew in for the birthday party. We had 50 people who put aside their afternoon for the birthday party. We had hired a face painter, non-refundable, non-transferable. Same with a moon bounce. Like we had really, since we did both of the kids' birthday parties in one event, we had done it bigger than we would normally do, like a singular birthday. Because it's easier for me to do two for one, and then it's more fun for the kids. Plus, they have all the same friends at this age. They don't have like their own friend groups yet. They're only three, and Nora will be five in a couple weeks. So we go in, I tell the woman, I'm like, I'm not doing well. She said, do you want a strep test? I said, I absolutely want a strep test. And so she did it, and it was a rapid test. And within 5 minutes, she came back and said it is positive for strep. Um, which was frustrating to me because I wish I had just gone in the day before. Um, because I knew in my heart of hearts that it was strep. Like I knew that it was. And I'm not blaming my mom. She just was saying it doesn't look like strep, and it really didn't. It didn't have that like traditional strep look, but just PSA, if your throat is killing you like that, it might still be strep. Um, so I went in, was it so at the doctor, obviously they prescribed me antibiotics. They also asked if I wanted a steroid shot, which I opted to get because I was feeling so run down. And so they gave me a steroid shot, and we went and picked up the antibiotics and went back home. So it was still early in the morning. The kids' party wasn't until the afternoon. And so I just thought, I mean, I can't cancel all this stuff. Well, I had asked the doctor, I said, do I need to cancel this party? I explained the situation, and she said, you don't. She said, unless you're sharing drinks or you're kissing people, you don't. She said, is the party outside? I said, actually, yeah, the whole party's outside. She said, just keep your distance. Excuse me, just keep your distance and, don't eat or drink after people. Well, I couldn't eat or drink like anything, which was also a problem because I was getting dehydrated. So I just texted every single person. I just texted every single person and was completely forthcoming about here's the situation, here's how I'm feeling, here's what's going on. This is what the doctor said. It's up to you. And everyone still came except for one family, my friend Ange, because she has a newborn baby. They just had him like less than a month ago, which I would never have come to a birthday party. Honestly, I wouldn't have come to a birthday party with a 1 month old, because she has three other kids as well in general. But certainly, if someone told me that they had come down with strep, I would be like, it's a no for me. So I very much understand, even though we missed them. Um, but everyone else still came, and no one else, it's been a week now, and no one else has gotten sick or anything like that, which I'm really grateful for. I really did keep my distance, and like I said, I wasn't eating or drinking, so it was like no problem. I just, stayed outside the whole time. I sat, not at like a crazy distance, but I didn't get up close and personal with people. Um, so anyway, that was the story, but I gave everybody the choice because obviously I would never, trick people into coming to a birthday party where I had strep. So the kids had a great time. I had to push myself really, really hard that day to make that party happen, because I felt awful. I felt so sick. But we had ordered platters and platters of food from our grocery store, which I always cook and make my own cupcakes and all of that when I do birthday parties or just parties in general. I rarely, if ever, I can't think of a time I've ever like gotten it all catered like this. Um, I mean, catered sounds more formal than it was. It was like party platters from our grocery store's deli, but they were really good. but there was something earlier that week when I was going to decide like what I was going to do for food, and I just had this like strong inclination to just order it and not worry about trying to make it myself. I'm so glad that I just leaned into that because otherwise I don't know what we would have done because I wouldn't have wanted to serve food to people that food that I had touched. But what ended up happening is the food all came sealed in in the party platters, and my mom was just the one to unbox them all and set them all out. And then I just stayed away from it, and it was all fine. Like I said, nobody's come down with anything, thank God. So, all that to say, I had to push myself really, really hard on that birthday party because it was not good times for me. I was not feeling well. I didn't have much of a voice, but I didn't want to just go lay in the bedroom. Like I'd been planning this party. It was my kids. I've only two children and it's both of their birthdays for the whole year. Like I was not going to miss out on it. I just wasn't. So I sat outside and I just did the best I could to try to be present. And it was actually a super successful and really fun party. I did take a couple of clips of it, so I'll show you those here. So we had a whole bunch of food that we put out, so I'll put some clips of that in. Like I said, it was just party platters, and then Riley had smoked a huge brisket um, on our smoker, and he served that with some buns as well, and people really loved that. It was absolutely delicious. I had it a couple of days later. Uh, excuse me, y'all. Telling you this stuff works so well. It's so good. So he made the brisket and then it was just cupcakes and I just got these little um plastic figurines of um, dragons and unicorns to put on the cupcakes because the theme was sort of like fairy tale princesses and knights, dragons and unicorns kind of vibes because it was for both of my kids, which one's a boy and one's a girl. If you're new around here, I'm sure you're probably not if you're watching a video that's of this nature. You've probably been around. So, put those on them and that was really cute and the kids loved that. And then we hired a face painter and she brought her big book and she was so sweet. It's a mother-daughter duo, so two kids could go at once. And they had so much fun and some kids got dragons and then a lot of the girls got the unicorns and we had a couple of Spider-Man face paints. It was really cute. It was very, very cute. My son Colin is the one that just turned 3 and he's so rough and tumble and he's just like this like all boy, just rough and tumble kind of kid. And he went up and he asked for a blue butterfly on his face. So she painted him like a blue butterfly and it was just like so sweet and precious because he's just like such an intense child. And then he had this like cute, dainty blue butterfly. We were like, Colin, we just love you. Nora, of course, got a unicorn. And then they had the moon bounce, and the kids played on the moon bounce for a while. And then instead of doing goodie bags, I had ordered all these beanie babies and so half of them were dragon beanie babies and half of them were unicorn beanie babies. And the kids got like a little adoption certificate and they got to choose a beanie baby to adopt and they got to name the beanie baby and they put it in a little bag and they got to like take it home with them. And that was a huge hit. The kids loved that. I highly recommend if you're looking for something that's less of like a bunch of junk for a goodie bag or like candy or whatever. Um, and you don't even have to get Beanie Babies. I did because I was trying to find bulk, just like cheap. I did not need it to be like a brand name. I couldn't find bulk dragons and unicorns. But if you can find whatever you're doing in bulk, like on Amazon for cheaper, then I would just do that. But anyway, they were really, really cute and they just loved them. The kids were carrying them all around. It was like very cute. I wish I was really out of it, to be honest with you. And I wish that I had had the foresight to say, like, everybody get together with their face paint and their little pet that they adopted, so to speak, and let's get a picture because it would have been a really cute picture, but we got nothing. There was nothing like that going on. Anyway, the kids had an amazing time. They got some really beautiful, generous gifts, lots of crafts for Nora and lots of fun things for Colin and bug catchers and all the stuff that he's into. And so it was really cute. It was a really good birthday and I was really glad that I had rallied and gotten it, all put together. Um, and just done it. So that was Saturday. Well, Sunday I woke up and I felt like I had been hit by a semi truck. because I already hadn't been feeling well, and then I had just effectively hosted a party for 50 people. And like obviously looking back, or just anybody could be like, well, that probably wasn't a good idea. You should have canceled it. But also, I think everybody can relate to the fact of like sometimes in life it's just sort of not an option. It's like, well, we're gonna lose all this food is going to be going to waste. The bouncy house is coming one way or the other, and the face painter has been booked. Like, what are we going to do? Just not. And then I'm thinking, I don't actually have any free weekends between now and the end of the month to replan this birthday party. My parents came in for it. All that to say, it was a conundrum. But I'm glad that I honestly, in the end, I'm glad that we did it, especially since the kids had such a good time and it worked out. It ended up working out really well. So that was what we did on Saturday. Then, like I said, Sunday we woke up and my sweet friend Rachel, who lives across the street, who had been at the birthday party, she was like, why don't I pick up your kids? I'll take them to church and you guys can just rest. And that was so nice. So she took the kids, then she took them to lunch, then took them on a drive. They played. She took them for like 3 or 4 hours. And I am so endlessly grateful for that time because like I said, I felt like I had gotten hit by a truck. I was just so ill. I felt so ill. And it was so, so bad. And I didn't even mention that. So Saturday was when I started the antibiotics. And so Saturday night after the birthday party, after everything, I was so exhausted, as you can imagine. And I did not sleep for more than 3 hours. I went to bed at 8 p.m. on Saturday night. I woke up at 11 and then I was awake, wide awake, not like in and out of sleep, but wide awake from 8 p.m. No, from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. all night long, all night long. And I woke up on Sunday morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I just have not felt this ill in so long. And it came to find out yesterday I switched. I came to find out that the antibiotics that I had been on, so I'm allergic to penicillin. So they can never give me penicillin, which I think is probably I think that's what people normally get when they have strep, but I can't have it because I'm allergic to it. So she gave me something else and it kept me up all night because it made my heart race. So I was like wired. I was wired. I was awake. I watched like 4 movies, documentaries. I was like just completely just wide awake. So then Sunday morning comes, Rachel picked up the kids, took them to church, and had them for a few hours, which was, like I said, a huge gift because the antibiotics were like starting to calm down, although I have to take them morning and night. So I waited a couple hours and got some sleep and then took it again. And I thought, I was like, I'm sure that this heart racing thing will go away. Well, it didn't. And so that was Sunday, all day Sunday. My parents left Sunday night. I didn't even say goodbye to them because I had finally fallen asleep. It was just kind of a it's just frustrating. Like my parents live across the country from me, so I only see them every once in a while, as many of you know, and as many of you live. Like many of you have the same circumstances where your family doesn't live close. So it's really precious, special time when you get your family all under the same roof. Like it's very rare. It doesn't happen a lot. And, you know, I was just feeling so frustrated. Like I said earlier, I have 2 kids. I have their birthday party on the same day in an entire calendar year, and it's the sickest I felt this entire year. And also, my parents come into town for this weekend. I haven't seen them in a few months, haven't been able to spend time together in a few months. And I am so ill. Like, it was just the timing was so frustrating, but such is life. It just like, this is just how it happens sometimes. So they left on Sunday night, and then Monday and Tuesday, yesterday and the day before, I spent the morning resting and then went into work both days because I have to stay on top of work. It's the reality of entrepreneurship and owning a small business is that there's no one else. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna call in sick so someone else can pick up the slack. It's like I better get it together because like I still got to get things going, answer emails and whatever. I did cancel. I had a mentorship session someone had booked with me yesterday, and I did cancel that because as bad as my voice is today, it was just squeaks yesterday. Like nothing was coming out at all. So there was no, I wouldn't be a good mentor at all if they couldn't even understand me or hear me. Um, so that brings us to now. I'm really grateful today. I'm feeling a lot better. I am so hungry because I could not eat. My throat was so raw that I couldn't even drink, like water would burn, just burn. I tried to drink like vanilla protein shakes, it would just burn. I couldn't eat anything that had like even just like a soft piece of bread. I tried to eat a soft piece of bread with peanut butter and banana and it just like would burn. It was horrible, and that subsided yesterday. So for the past 24 hours, I have been so hungry, but my stomach, I guess, has shrunk because I've been ill and not eating. So I feel like anytime I eat just like a few bites of food, I feel really full. So I'm just trying to eat like regularly throughout the day. Um, because my body is so hungry. Like I haven't eaten, I didn't eat Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I ate a little bit yesterday. So it was like, 3 or 4 days of like pretty much just drinking water, which is also not good, but I forced myself to eat some, but at some point I'm like, this is like burning my throat so bad. This is not worth it. And I would just give it up. This tea again, like this tea with so much honey in it is the only thing that I'm able to like easily get down, or had been, able to easily get down. Like I said, now I'm feeling better in terms of being able to eat a little more. I ate some chicken last night and I'm trying. I'm trying because this weekend, speaking of other things that coincide with this week that are like big things that I've been excited for. So this weekend, this Sunday on night 3 in Miami, my cousin Caroline and I are going to the Eras tour, and we booked our tickets over a year ago, and we've been looking forward to it for over a year. In fact, I've been working on making friendship bracelets every night. I made a few more last night as well. Like after the kids go to bed, I just make like a handful. I'm not gonna try. Some women are bringing like literally 300 bracelets. I'm like maybe 20 would be great for me to you trade. That's the thing that people do. You trade. So like I've been looking forward to this, and I'm like, of course. I'm like coming off an illness that I don't have a voice. Like all I want to do is scream and belt these songs with my cousin and have like this really fun time. And I'm like, of course. Life is just a joke sometimes, you know? So anyway, so it's Wednesday. I fly to Florida on Saturday. Now, this is a whole other part of the conversation because my dad turns 60 this coming weekend. So he and my mom rented a beach house in the Boca Raton area, and they invited some of their best couple friends. So it wasn't a family thing, it was a friend thing. I think they have 3 other like couple friends going to visit. Oops. It's reminding me of my doctor's appointment. I have a follow-up because I got to make sure we're done with this. So it was going to be just like a friend thing for them with all their friends. And then I was like, well, I'm going to be in Florida that weekend anyway, with Caroline, my cousin, because we are going to the Taylor Swift concert. And my mom and dad were like, oh my gosh, well, could you come stay with us for a night or two? Like they're going for, I think, 4 nights with their friends. And I was like talking to Riley, and Riley's like, yeah, I'd be down to go. Riley's not going to the concert, but he's like, I'd be down to go. And so, and I was like, okay. So what we're gonna do is our kids are staying with Riley's mom, and they are so excited. They are so excited. Like I felt so guilty because we basically never leave our kids, and then we just a month ago went to California, just Riley and I, and they stayed here with my mom. And then here a month later, we're going to Florida, and they're staying, it's only 2 nights, but they're staying with Riley's mom. And they're meanwhile, literally every morning, first thing they ask me is, how many more days until we get to go stay? They call her Dit Dit. It's a long story. How many more days until we get to go stay at Dit Dit's house? How many more days? And I'm like, nobody care. Like, I feel guilty because we've left you 2 weekends in a month, and they can't wait. So anyway, so we're gonna fly out Saturday morning, fly into Fort Lauderdale, drive to the house that my parents rented. They're not doing in their beach condo because it's so small. So they rented something that's bigger so that they could all stay under one roof. And there's a whole bunch of bedrooms. So they had an extra bedroom for us. So we're gonna go stay Saturday night with them. I think Saturday we're gonna go on the boat with them. They rented a boat. Like they're doing all these cute things because it's my dad's 60th, so it's like a big deal. So we're gonna go like on a boat with them on Saturday, and then Saturday night we're doing like a big birthday party for my dad, and that'll be really cute and fun. And I'm like actually really excited that I get to be there for that because 60 is like such a big thing. It's just really cute. And then my mom, my dad doesn't know this yet, and this video is going up after it already has happened, but my mom has rented all the supplies to do a silent disco, which I'm like, is this what dad wants for his birthday? Like, time will tell. I think it sounds like a lot of fun to my mom, but nevertheless, it will be straight up hilarious. I think it will be very funny to see like what the heck this all goes down like. So that's going to be Saturday is like a day of like celebrating my dad, his like big birthday party, big dinner, like whatever. And then Sunday I'll spend the first half of the day with them all. You know, Riley and I will be there. And then in the afternoon, like probably around like 2 or 3, I'm gonna go pick up my cousin at the airport and we're going to go check into our hotel and we're just going to stay there for one night. So Riley's going to stay back with my parents and their friends. And I was like, "Are you sure you're okay with that?" And he's like, "I love your parents' friends. Like it'll be a lot of fun and I'll get to actually sleep. I'll actually get to sleep and relax and I'll be in Florida and it sounds great." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if it works for you, like it works for me." Um so that's what he's going to do just for that. I don't even think it will be 24 hours. So in the late afternoon, I'll drive down, get Caroline. We'll go to the hotel. We'll get dressed. We'll go to the concert. I can't wait. I have my outfit all picked out. I'm going. My era is going to be the red album. So I have like a red top and a black sparkly skirt and red heart sunglasses, and I'm so excited. I will be posting for my Instagram subscribers for sure, and I probably will do like a recap video or something here. So that will be Sunday night, and then I will just stay close to the venue, to the stadium with Caroline, and then first thing on Sunday morning. I mean, first thing on Monday morning, I'll drive back up and go spend, you know, the next however many hours until the afternoon with Riley and my family and all of them. So Riley will be with them from like, I don't know, 4 p.m. to, I don't know, 10 a.m. or something. But he knew going into it. I'm like, just to be clear, like, I'm not going to be there for like a solid chunk of time because I'm going to this concert. He's like, yeah, that's fine. He's like, laying out, it's like a beautiful house. He's like, laying out in a beautiful house in Florida, like with a book sounds amazing. I'm like, okay, you do you, you know? So that's what the weekend that we have is coming up. Like I said, it's Wednesday. I do think that by then I will be feeling a lot better. Um, by Saturday, hopefully. It's like a solid 3 more days before I really need to be able to belt out some songs. Luckily, the silent disco, I will not need to belt out any songs. I can just be quiet. But yeah, it's been just a really hard week. But also really good. Like Colin turned 3. The party was really cute. It was great to see my parents. We're really excited about my dad's 60th and everything that goes along with it. I'm obviously excited about the concert, like seeing my cousin. I haven't seen her in a couple years. Well, like a year and a half. I saw her in March of last year. So yeah, it's been about a year and a half. Um, so yeah, that's the update. It's a big one. It's like all kinds of stuff going on right now. Um, So I'm going to the doctor, like I said, here in an hour. And I'm gonna ask for a B12 shot. The last time that I got sick like this and it was lingering, I got a B12 shot and it made me feel incredible. I also haven't been able to work out at all this week for obvious reasons. I think I might go in tomorrow to the gym and just walk for 30 minutes or something. I'm just not, I hate being like so off my game, but all that to say, this is kind of what's going on. Tacking on to all of this, we originally had a Disney cruise booked for this coming January 2025. We were really excited about it, and we ended up canceling it. Well, we ended up rescheduling it because I started looking into, I don't know, I guess I just wasn't thinking about it too much when I booked it, but then I started looking into the weather in January and it can be a little hit or miss, which, yeah, that makes sense because we have gone to Disney World in January. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times, like a lot of times. And some years it's mild and some years it's pretty cold. And obviously that's not as far south as, cruising in the Caribbean, but I started looking on forums and stuff. And I was talking to Riley, and Riley's like, if it was just us going, like adults only, I would say let's just go because we could just make the most of the ship. But our kids like really thrive when they are able to do outdoor activities and they're able to swim and do all those things. So we just decided to bump it to May. The previous two Disney cruises that we have done have both been in May, and we've had really beautiful weather on both. So we've bumped it to May for that reason, just to hopefully ensure a bit more sunshine. And then I think what we're going to try to do is do either Disney World or Disneyland because we are now obsessed with Disneyland at some point in maybe January or February. So we'll see. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated if something like that happens and if we plan anything like that. But after this trip this weekend, just this little 2-night Florida trip, we don't have anything else planned through the end of the year into the new year until that May trip, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, it feels really good. We've had a lot of travel lately. There's been a lot, going on, and it's just going to be nice, especially, at this time of year to just be home and enjoy the holiday season and enjoy just the coziness of not having to like be packing and unpacking and all of that kind of stuff. So, Thanksgiving we are doing here with Riley's side of the family, and Christmas we are also doing here, but my parents are flying to us to stay with us and do Christmas with us, which I think will be really nice. So, they did that last year too, and it was super fun, and maybe even the year before. They really like coming down here for Christmas, which is really sweet. So, we have fun things coming and all of that, but just not having to be the ones to travel. Um, my kids are just getting to the age where it's becoming more important for me, specifically on Christmas, but even Thanksgiving. I just want them to wake up in their own beds on Christmas morning and like in their own house. And it wasn't as important to me when they were babies. I really loved, traveling to Maryland where I'm from for that, but now it's feeling a little bit more like that is more important to me. So, and to Riley as well. So that's kind of the outlook on what's coming up. We've got, we've had a really wild week. Hopefully we're on the mend. This weekend should be really fun. It's about to be crazy. We've got silent discos. We've got just all kinds of things happening. I think it's going to be a really fun weekend. And then after that, it's going to be time for us to I'm ready to cozy up and get back to cooking a lot, baking a lot, just all the cozy things of the fall and winter that I love with all of my heart. So that is the story of what's been going on in my world for the past little bit. I would love to hear how you're doing. I know because I have shared on my Instagram, with my Instagram subscribers about this illness and like how awful it's been. I've had no less than probably 20 different people respond and say that they got strep as an adult and it's the worst illness they've ever had. The recovery was worse than childbirth. It's been like people have said all kinds of things. It has been shocking how bad it's been because when I had strep as a kid, I remember going to the doctor, getting antibiotics, and feeling better by that evening. And this just was not like that. This was like really, really intense. So, anyway, thank you for being here and for listening to my ramblings. I like to do these kind of really low key, chill, kind of like a FaceTime. I like to do these kind of videos and just chat because I love watching people that I watch on YouTube with these kind of videos while I'm just like folding laundry or doing dishes or just cleaning my house. It's just like nice to just kind of like hear what's going on in someone else's world and kind of escape my own world for a while. So I hope you escaped your world to like weird strep world. But we have good fun things coming up as well. So thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you so much. Leave me a comment below. Have you ever had strep as an adult? And if so, was it as awful as it's been for me? I hope not. I hope it was better for you. Um, and just how you're doing. How are you guys? How's everything going? What's up? And are you traveling this fall and winter and all of that? Would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.